I recently asked a question in our episode description and online, and I said, are experiences like abuse, chemsex, sexual exploitation, racism, and even murder considered normal for LGBTQ plus people? This was on our episode about America's chemsex killer, and I received a variety of responses, basically all saying, yes, very normal.
Right.
That's alarming because, I mean, although I knew that question was, yes, this is normal, I was hoping it wouldn't be normal for everyone. But I think from the conversations I've had, every LGBTQ plus person has an experience with at least two of those 5 things.
Right.
And a lot of them obviously intersect. So chemsex, tick, abuse, tick, sexual exploitation. I'm not sure. Oh, no. Yeah, tick. Racism, obviously, I haven't experienced that one. And murder, I haven't experienced that one either. So I've got 3 of 5 there. How many of the 5 do you have?
I don't think so, no.
You don't have to disclose whether you have or not. Yeah, I mean, that's bad, isn't it? But all gay people, I think, have experienced one, at least, of those things. And all of them are awful. And that is so devastating.
And why is that?
I think for a long time, I often thought that any abuse I'd experienced or anything like that was my fault, or that it was because, or that it had made me queer. And I know we've talked about conversion therapy and stuff, and often I think gay people feel like we're gay because of what we've been through. But actually, I've come to realize that these experiences happen to us because we're vulnerable, because we're queer. They haven't made us queer, far from it. But because we're queer, we're vulnerable. So therefore, we're at risk of these situations happening more than, say, a straight person would be.
Yeah.
This is so funny. So, no, but it's a trauma response.
About this.
It's a trauma response. Thanks.
This is a laugh a minute. This is.
I will. So yeah, okay. I went out one night about 10 years ago. I was really drunk, and then I woke up, and a guy was inside me, and obviously I'd been drugged, and I was, I guess you could call it. Well, I don't want to say the word. Because if I say the word, then I'll be upset. But I have completely normalized that as a gay person. Like, oh, that just happened. Like, lol, what am I like? And I think we all do that.
Yeah. We
all do that. All queer people do that. We just go, oh, it's normal. It's fine.
It's normal to get raped.
Yeah. Well,
how often?
I'm not alone. I know I'm not, because I've heard now from other people that have said the same thing. So yeah, I think we just normalize it. It's the same conversation we've had before where someone groped you in a club and I was like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
Get over it. Terrible. That's because I've normalized sexual exploitation and abuse in queer spaces, because it's the only way to deal with it.
Yeah.
Except it's not the only way to deal with it. We should be reporting it, right? But I think it's just sometimes easier to go, LMAO, lol.
Yeah.
That's nothing. Oh God.
What happened to this guy then? You just got up and left.
No, I know him. This is it. I would have had sex with him anyway. That's the problem.
So what? I don't really understand. Why did that not happen then?
What?
Why did it not just happen? Because this guy's got a thing for...
No, I'm not sure. But it's just, in that episode when we were chatting to Patrick about the chemsex killer, right? This is why I said to you, oh, this doesn't seem crazy to me. This seems pretty normal. Yeah. Obviously, the murder bit isn't great or normal.
So this guy's just like swanning around, living the life of Riley to this day?
Yeah. Why would there not be?
I don't know. I mean, maybe if you're going around raping people, then.
But
I know most rapists don't get away with it, right? That's like that's been a well-established sort of narrative over the last few years, especially in London with the Met Police and whatnot. So I guess I know the answer then when I'm like, why is this guy's just? Because I'm guessing he hasn't just done it to you. I'm guessing he's done it. You don't generally hear people doing that kind of thing once with someone who was going to have sex with them anyway.
I don't know. I think.
But.
Who knows what the intent is on their side? I don't know. I can only tell you the experience I had. But I think what I wanted to talk about it for, the reason I wanted to mention it was just in case anyone else has also done that. Because it's not okay that we just normalize those experiences,
No.
basically. It's just not. I mean, your reaction speaks volumes to that. It's wild, isn't it? It's not fair. I say that a lot at the minute. I just don't think it's fair that queer people have to go through all these fucking dark, traumatic experiences.
Yeah.
Why? It's just not okay, is it?
No. So what happens when you see this bloke knocking around?
I don't think it affects me. I don't think that specific occasion affects me on a daily basis. If I saw the person now, I know what would happen. I think everything would be completely normal.
Yeah.
But if they were to contact me and say, by the way, sorry that happened, I want to apologize to you, that would be horrific. That would be an admission on their part that it happened, and so therefore I would no longer be able to gaslight myself into thinking that it was completely normal experience. Because that's happened to me before in an abuse situation. Someone apologized to me for something that had happened, and I've never spoken to them again, because it made me face what they did, because suddenly they'd admitted it.
Yeah.
And once that happens, you can't really hide from it anymore. You can't pretend that it was a mistake, or that it was my fault, or that it's normal because someone said sorry.
Yeah.
So it's like fuck, and I guess that's why it's so important when someone does something bad to you that you do call it out, so that you can move on. I don't know, because I don't really want to do that. I'd rather just leave it and forget about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope this has helped if anyone's listening and has had a similar experience.
I empathize a lot, I guess, because I haven't had to go through anything like that, really. And like the minuscule things that I have gone through that are like a fraction of that have wound me up so much that I can't even imagine that on a huge, much bigger scale. Especially when it's like you basically can't do anything about it. That's the bit that really gets me. Do you know what I mean?
You mean you can't do anything about it, or why?
Well, I guess you can't or you won't, because it's, and most women don't or won't. Do you know what I mean? When this happens to them,
yeah,
that's the real. Well, the whole thing is obviously awful, but I think that's the icing on the sort of cake of the tragedy, isn't it? When people sort of take away like a bit of you, that can like absolutely destroy you. And I can rape is obviously that times 1,000. So yeah, I don't know what to say. I guess
is
like,
that what it is? You're gonna make me cry. You definitely have made me cry there.
Sorry.
I've stopped myself. I can't cry at the minute. I hate it. It feels like a sign of weakness.
because it's
I don't.
antidepressant.
No, I'm not on antidepressants. I just don't want to cry because I don't want to be weak.
I mean, that's nonsense.
Well, does it feel like nonsense? But I know what you mean, and I agree with you. But I can't bring myself to do it. What do you mean they take a piece of you? Like I think that's what hit me then.